continues right now.
All right, NFL free agency is in full swing, and the Rams scored a really, really big one. Davante Adams is a member of the Los Angeles Rams. He joins us right now on Trav and DeMarco. Davante, welcome to Los Angeles.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Man, so excited to have you in town. I remember when there was a rumor that the Rams could get Davante Adams. And then I thought that you had put out that you would love to come play for the Rams. Why here? Why'd you want to come play in L.A.?
Man, I don't even know where to start, to be honest with you. You got, whether it's being a great NFC contender, a great quarterback, awesome head coach. I just think it was just a great fit all around. Just from the supporting staff, really from top to bottom, it made sense for me. And the thing that sealed the deal was it being close to home, me being from Cali and being a Cali boy.
Yeah.
It meant a lot for me to be able to have my friends and family see me pretty consistently here. Didn't have as much support out on the East Coast there in New York, but that ain't all of it. But that's a piece that meant something to me.
New Rams wide receiver Davante Adams joining us here on Trav and DeMarco. You mentioned it. You talk about the coach, the city, the atmosphere, all those sorts of things. What about the quarterback in Matthew Stafford? How appealing was that once they got that piece taken care of, how much more attractive did LA become?
That piece was one of the most critical for me. I've been to a few places since leaving the Packers, and my stop in Vegas was great. I think it was a fun time and a productive time at each stop. But when you start taking into account how important it is that you have a great quarterback on top of a great supporting cast, that you don't really have a contender if you don't have the quarterback. So having one of the best ones to play this game, throw me the ball now after having another one of the best ones to ever play the game, throw me the ball before. I keep kind of lucking up with these quarterbacks, that's for sure.
All blessings, man.
I'm excited about this opportunity.
Watching you on film, I'm trying to figure out who your influences are. So when you were a little kid growing up in California, playing football in the backyard or in the schoolyard, who did you pretend to be as a kid?
To be honest with you, Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson and Darren Williams, and that basketball background is kind of what took me more over to the football world, and I found that I could use some of the things that made me special in basketball. I could kind of use that skill set to kind of gear it toward the way I move and the way I run my routes, the way I release off the line. And I think there's been more basketball influence than football influence over time, especially when I was young. A lot of the guys that I liked, they weren't even my skill type necessarily, or my body type, or I was a big Santana guy, so that helped me. Santana Moss helped me with kind of learning how to run routes. Ocho being one of my big influences then and now, and obviously Randy Moss being the best wideout of all time. That's been my number one guy since I've learned the game too. So. I wouldn't say that a lot of those guys are even my exact skill type, but, guys like Keenan Allen that are a little bit closer to me in age, but watching him, because I didn't start playing football until my junior year in high school. So having a guy like that when I'm trying to learn the position and watching him over at Cal, that was a big influence on me for sure.
So, Davante, how much game did you have on the basketball court? Had that just been, I'd rather do this than go play the NFL, could you have made that happen? Are you that good?
I believe so, yeah. What stopped me was I was kind of playing the numbers just based off of height. I grew 5.5 inches in 8th grade, and then from that point on, I probably grew another half inch to an inch and kind of halted at 6'1.5", 6'2". So, being not a 6'7", 6'5", 6'6" point guard is not the easiest thing these days. So I figured let me see what football's talking about. Went out there, and it was tough, just as natural as basketball did, so we decided to go that route.
You were like, oh, this is easy. This dude can't hang with me.
It was just too much space out there. That's why I felt there was a lot of space on the field.
I keep showing these guys films of you turning people in knots, and I'm like, this guy still has it. What was it like going through last year in New York? It's always rough when you don't win in the NFL, but it seems like the franchise kind of lost a rudder there. So what was that like for you in New York? And then to come from a come to a better environment in LA?
Yeah, I mean, it was the right move to make, no matter how it turned out. To be honest with you, it was one of those situations, and I think everybody can kind of see what the organization over in Vegas kind of turned into by the end of the year. Which, you know, that's not me speaking down on them at all. Just the reality, right? It's a much better situation for me to go play with a quarterback that's proven and somebody I played with and have a lot of experience with. So I don't regret it one bit. I got everything that I could out of that place, and went there to win games. It just turned out we just couldn't win enough and couldn't finish the games that mattered. So obviously that wasn't a great feeling, but to be in a situation now where I'm coming to a organization that has a lot of swagger, a lot of juice, you know, recent success, it kind of puts me in a position where it makes me feel really comfortable about being here.
You almost had the Rams, and it was cold out there. But you're used to the cold, right?
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was. I don't know if I'm used to it. I got some of that in my bones from back in the day, that's for sure. But I'll take a dome and control the environment all day.
Davante Adams, new Rams wide receiver, joining us here on Travis and DeMarco. And Davante, I'm not looking to put your business out on the street, but just was there a negotiation between you and Puka?
No, that's funny that you asked that. He actually changed his number, decided he was going to change before I even spoke to him. So it was the same day, and I don't know if that put him over the top for him to, you know, give him more incentive to want to do that. But I didn't ask him, and actually before I even, you know, learned that the contract was nailed down with the Rams side and my agent, I get a call in the morning while I'm in Japan, and I wake up to, you know, my agent saying, all right, well, you're getting 17, and we hadn't even talked about numbers before that. So that's how I knew that Puka decided to go ahead and do that on his own. But I appreciate him doing that for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It saved you a little something, I would imagine, along the way. When were you in Japan?
I just got back 2 days ago, actually. I was there for about a week.
DeMarco and I were just talking about this. The Dodgers are obviously over there right now getting ready to play. Like, just kind of give me a sense of the Shohei Ohtani impact over there. Is everywhere you turn, are you seeing something Shohei?
Pretty much, man. I mean, you see it's all type of Dodgers hats out there with Japanese flags on the side. I mean, I meant to grab them before I left and kind of pissed off that I forgot. But they show a lot of love. It kind of reminds me of when you go to Colombia and you see all the stuff around of Sofia Vergara. You know, they definitely make sure they represent, and they're real proud of him, and as I'll say, equally as proud as they are of Sophia out there. So it's awesome seeing, because you know it's a place where American sports are not as big. So to see how much they broadcast the Dodgers and Shohei everywhere, you're seeing little kids working on their game, and you got to imagine that, you know, they got inspired by Shohei and, you know, him coming from nothing and finding a way out there. So maybe we'll see the next little Shohei out there someday.
We just had this discussion. Emily has there's a place in America that doesn't know who Shohei Ohtani is. That's got to be impossible, right? He's like one of the most famous guys in the world.
Yeah, I think you got to know a little something about baseball, or at least be clued into sports, because he's not a dude you're going to see everywhere, all over commercials and talking it all over the place for sure. He's
Makes
a man
sense.
of few words, at least in our language. But he, I think guys and girls like you and I definitely will be hip to it, but I don't know if my wife even knows who he is. So I can't talk too bad about people that don't know.
So, Davante, speaking of commercials and whatnot, if I'm going through the drive-thru at Taco Bell later this afternoon, how should I?
Can I name drop you?
What should I do?
Yeah, tell him you know me, and let them know I got a purple card, and I'll be back through to backtrack and make sure I take care of the tab for you. I got you.
Do you have a go-to standing order, or do you mix it up depending on how you feel?
I do. We go Crunchwrap Supreme, no tomatoes, 2 Doritos Loco, no tomatoes, Supreme, of course, and usually a mango whipped freeze, but they actually took it off the menu right now. But that's the OG order right there.
Yes, sir. Give me 2. Absolutely. You and Puka together. I mean, have you seen Puka's game? I mean, can you see yourself lining up with him on the field? And how does the defense adjust to you and Puka on the field at the same time?
I don't know. I was going to ask you the same question. Honestly, I don't. It's going to be tough, man. I mean, I had the pleasure of playing with a G5 out there in New York last year, and similar to that situation, we go play in Miami, and Jalen doesn't know if he's going to go with him or go with me. And if you want to follow one or if you follow the other, either way you're going to pay, and it's going to be difficult. We obviously got to put the work in and do everything that's going to lead to us having that success. But on paper, it's definitely going to be a hell of a test for the opposition.
You meant Jalen Ramsey, right?
Yeah. He went out there. We played those boys in Miami the first game and got after them. They ended up winning the game at the very end.
Yeah.
But both of us went out there and did our thing. So I'm hoping it'll look similar with me and Puka out
Davante,
there.
what must that look like coming the other way? Because I saw up close with Jalen. There's something burning in him that we don't know. What is that like? Who is your toughest cover in the NFL right now?
I don't know, man. I'll say whoever's covering me when I slip or something like that.
Oh, man. Yes, sir. Good answer.
That's fantastic. So what do you do between now and the start of camp? Is it a low time for you to kind of just rest and get right, or are you ready to hit the ground running right now?
No, I mean, this signing and this opportunity is giving me a whole new outlook in life, just football-wise in general. Being in Vegas and then going to New York and losing pretty consistently over the last 3 years is not taking it out of me, but it starts to take a toll on you mentally a little bit, especially when you very used to you become accustomed to winning games. And over the course of 8 years, I won a lot of games in Green Bay, so I still have not let go of that burning desire to get back on top in the win column, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. So I'm putting in all the work that I got to do now. This is year 12, so I've got a pretty good feel for how to kind of navigate this and take care of my body and build and do all that stuff. So we building so we can hopefully get close to hoisting that trophy at some point. So that's the goal.
What about your coach, Sean McVay? High energy. What was your first impressions?
Well, I've known him already, so I already knew what I was getting myself into a little bit. But throughout the last week, speaking to him and just hearing how excited he is to have me here and getting everybody else involved, a lot of people reaching out about having me here as well. He's made it clear that he's excited about me being here and, the opportunity that this presents for sure.
New Rams wide receiver Davante Adams. Davante, I'll say it again. Welcome to Los Angeles.
Welcome
We're
aboard,
thrilled to
man.
have you here, and can't wait to see you out on the field. Thanks a bunch.
Thank you, brother.
Cool cat.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, somebody who slips, that's who?
Yes.
That's terrific.
No, I heard the purple card.
Yeah,
That's what I heard.
I heard, by the way, that
Yeah.
order that's a man that knows his way around a Taco Bell
Yeah.
menu.
Where's the nearest Taco Bell?
I know.
Let's go.
There's one right up the
I
road
am
here.
name
As a
dropping
matter of
him.
fact,
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's great.
Yes,
Doesn't
fun
like
stuff.
tomatoes. He wants tomatoes off of all of his things, and he wants the mango whip back.
Aren't you excited now?
Let's
Aren't
go.
you excited for
Dude,
football?
he's going to be great.
Bro, I can't wait.
I know.
I'm so excited.
Football
Yes.
can't come fast enough,
Yes.
and it ends way too quick.
Yep.
Yeah. It ends way too
And
quick.
the division is wide open.
Let's talk about that.